everyone, and welcome your faces to another Poppy Playtime video. Today we're going to be talking about the new teased image from Mob Game Studios, and I must say it's got a plethora of information in it. It's actually giving us a massive hint to Chapter 3 and a potential new mascot. But before we get into the video, if you love Poppy Playtime and theories and just the game in general, make sure you hit subscribe because we're going to be covering it like mad when Chapter 3 drops. And also, if you do plan on visiting the Poppy Playtime merch store, use code Itsjustjord for 10% off your whole order. Right, introduction and shameless self-promotion out of the way, let's get into this video. So like I mentioned before, Mob Games have just tweeted out a brand new teaser for Chapter 3, and I say this because we have a lot of information to go through. But first, let me tell you what we see. So of course, the image contains a monitor or computer setup of sorts with the Playtime Co logo on the front of it, and of course upon the display. We can see a few of the icons on the side of the computer on the desktop, which of course is my computer, CCTV network, recycle bin, and command prompt in File Explorer, which is quite usual, nothing out of the ordinary there. But then it brings us to our first bit of information that is quite intriguing, as in we see at the top of the monitor there is a white line. Now at the moment I can't make out the white line. I've done some editing and photoshopping, I couldn't make anything of text from it, so that does lead me to believe that this line with all the zigzags and all whatnot, I believe it is a message. But whether it's a message in something like Morse code or something similar, or something we can translate when we get maybe a little bit more information, I think that's what's going to be. But again, this is massively alluding to a new ARG coming in for Chapter 3. And with that being said, we also have the original Poppy Playtime security camera feed site actually undergoing maintenance at the moment when I searched it up, and I will show you a photo of that right now. And of course that obviously means they're revamping it, ready for Chapter 3 or whatever's coming next. But also the most important thing about this desktop image, if you will, in the monitor is actually the date, and it's the time in the bottom right corner. And now for those that of course are just listening and not actually watching the video, it says 7:19, so nearly 20 past 7 in the evening. Now while this looks like a time, I actually think it's more leading to a release date, or at least a trailer dropping date, because when we set it up in the sense of American month and day, this is alluding to the 19th of July. Now, of course, we're getting close to the release of Chapter 3, or some information coming out at some point, because it's been a while now since we've heard anything. But I think the 19th of July is going to be a date to look out for, because I think we're either going to get an update on an ARG, so a new link or something similar, so we're going to have to go in and do some more downloads again like originally, or it's going to be a trailer drop, or just a complete reveal of Chapter 3, if you will. And here is where it gets super interesting. Now, on your screen at the moment, you should see one of two things. It will be the original teaser and then an edited teaser. Now, the edited teaser I made has a very high contrast version, which makes sure that all the darker areas in the image get brightened up like mad, and that you can see the dark spots. And of course you see the lighter spots, and you know, all the usual photoshoppery that we know of. Now I know this image is going to hurt your eyes, so I do apologize. So let's look at this high contrast image. And this image, I believe, in a high contrast mode actually gives us loads of info. And I mean, the two main pieces of information that come off this are, of course, one, the 3 on the right side, and I believe this is alluding to Chapter 3, and this is the hint that this is the beginning of the Chapter 3 ARG. But with that, there is also on the left side a really interesting detail hidden in the shadow. Now of course you could say it's a few monsters here or there, or a few mascots, and you would be well within your right to do so. So I want to knock off a few already, and I believe it's either 1, Kissy, 2, Huggy, or 3, Bunzo, or 4, a new mascot. And I say this because mainly it's the front tooth. Now again, if you're looking at the high contrast the low contrast image, but the high brightness that I'm showing you right now that I've made, you can see that there actually is only one major large tooth on the top of the mouth. And again, the proportions don't match to something like Huggy. Yes, at first glance you could mistake it for Huggy or Kissy, but the mouth is too wide open. I don't think we've actually seen a creature or a mascot with a similar proportion. But I do believe that this actual creature in the shadow looks to be like a teddy bear, if you will. Now, hold your horses. I know, it's a bit far-fetched, but hear me out. We had the recent teaser in Project Playtime where there are a few animals going into play, and how fitting would it be if we see a bear in this new teaser image? And we know they've done this before because they've actually snuck in Mommy Longlegs on us before with a different teaser. So I wonder if we're actually seeing one of the Playcare monsters, or mascots, if you will, however you want to coin it. I do think these are going to be some of the creatures that we do find in Playcare. I think this is going to be the first of many hints of what we can see in Playcare. And this is the part that really gets me, and I don't know if it's just me, but I have a slight suspicion, because they talk about how the chapter is super darker and super scarier, that perhaps we aren't going to be physically seeing these creatures. What if the gas actually has something to do with their appearance, or makes these entities or creatures visible a bit more, like how the gas is making this creature in this teaser visible? But anyway, tinfoil hat time. I'll move it along. Don't worry. That's a thought for another theory video. But anyway, while I'm open to the idea of it being Huggy or Kissy, I just don't think the proportions sell me, because again, matches more of something like a bunny or a bear. And of course, we're going into Playtime Co, and we got that teaser in Project Playtime. So I think it's all starting to line up, but we are seeing the very early teasers for Chapter 3. So hold on to your horses, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. But also, there is also maybe one other bit about this image, and of course that's the gas. I think as well, with the low contrast, high brightness, we can see the gas is actually funneling in. So I think, again, gas is of course going to make a major role in the new chapter, of course, with the gas mask and stuff. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. And again, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like, comment, subscribe, do all the usual YouTuber stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I love doing these little videos because I love these new teasers. I love the ARG, and you can be sure that when any new ARG information comes out that's substantial, I will make sure to do it in like a bite-sized cover. And of course, I'll be covering and theorizing the hell out of Chapter 3. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you hit subscribe. We're trying to hit 100k this year, so it would really help out. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble on. I appreciate you. And with that being said, have a lovely morning, day, or night, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next Poppy Playtime theory video.